Hello friends, and welcome back to another video. Some of you may remember a few months back, one of my viewers challenged me to eat for an entire week on $5. I took her up on the challenge and that video became one of my most watched videos. Some watched it for entertainment value, but a large portion of the viewers watched because they are struggling to make ends meet and were looking for ideas on how to save money on groceries. For all those people, I'm going to try again. In this video, I won't be using flour, so I'm a little concerned that I won't have enough food. On the flip side of this, the meals will be quicker to prepare. Some viewers don't have the time or energy for a lot of cooking and baking, so for them, I think this video might be helpful. It was 4 months ago that I did the $5 video, and prices have gone up substantially since then. My goal is to come as close to the $5 as possible. One of my viewers specifically requested that I do a similar video with a higher protein count, so Hillary, if you're watching, this video is for you. As always, ingredients and price lists, as well as recipes or links, are in the description. Tofu was on sale this week at H Mart, so I stopped by on my way home from work and picked up one of these that I'll be using in my extreme budget challenge. For my viewers that are new to tofu, they do have many different options between firm and soft. I prefer to use the firm, but that's just personal preference. You might want to experiment and see what you like best. I really wanted to use the black beans, but unfortunately they're 35 cents more a pound than the pinto beans. So because we're on such an extreme budget, there's just no way I can swing that. So I'm going to have to go ahead and go with the pinto beans. They'll definitely be just as tasty as the black beans would, but I thought the black beans would look a little bit better in my dishes. I thought of these little bags of pasta in the ethnic section and thought I would be able to get a good deal on these, but they have gone up quite a bit in price, and the little bag of vermicelli was 7 ounces for 44 cents, and so I don't think that that's gonna be a good deal this time. I think I can actually do better on that in the pasta section. My son's been making this super delicious dish with the ramen noodles out of these little packages, and so I was kind of thinking about making that. He does use real garlic in his, but I think I could recreate it with garlic powder. We'll be purchasing 1 carrot and some green onions, so I think we'd have everything that we need. I will link his channel in the description because I do believe he just dropped the video on how to make that. I have been stocking up on these ramen noodles lately because you can use these in a variety of ways. This spaghetti is actually a really good deal at 88 cents, and we're going to get an extra 56 grams of protein, and it's 210 calories per serving, so we'll actually get an extra almost 1700 calories out of that, and it's much cheaper than the spaghetti in the bins. It was $1.14 per pound compared to 88 cents per pound, so we're saving 26 cents per pound just by purchasing the packaged product. And oddly enough, the thin spaghetti, which was right above the regular spaghetti, was 32 cents more than the spaghetti with the same weight. Okay, now is when I get in my car and make the adjustments of what I've purchased and see if I have any money left in my budget. If I do, I might run back in and grab something, but it looks like I've spent pretty much all that I want to spend. I did mean to pull out the ramen noodles because I did decide to go with the spaghetti noodles. I have a few ideas for some fun dishes that I can make with those. Here is our total haul for the week. Our protein sources include tofu, eggs, beans, and the spaghetti does also have protein. We'll get 50 grams of protein out of the tofu. We have eggs. Fortunately, Dollar Tree does still sell eggs for $1.25, which seems to be the best deal in my area. I picked up an apple, a carrot, a jalapeno, 2 tomatillos, 1 zucchini, a bunch of green onions. We've got the rice, the beans, the oatmeal, and the corn tortillas. For today's challenge, I thought I would go ahead and use pantry staples that will be in most people's kitchen. I also added in an additional 30 cents to the budget for proportional amounts used, but I'm using low sodium soy sauce, red pepper flakes, garlic powder, any hot sauce will do, anything that you have on hand, whether it's packets from Taco Bell or whatever, but I use the chili garlic sauce. That's my favorite. And then also some kind of bouillon. I used brown sugar, but you can definitely use white sugar in any of these recipes. We were able to get a total of 257 grams of protein for the week. That equals out to be 36.77 grams per day. Many times in these extreme budget challenges, it's difficult to get enough protein, obviously because protein is so expensive, but I think we did pretty well overall. It did add a little bit to the budget by purchasing the additional tofu, but I think it was worth it in the end. I do suggest, if you want to cook all of the beans at once, that you use your beans during the first part of the week, because unfortunately, even if you put beans in the refrigerator, they're not going to last the entire week. Alternatively, if you want, you can always freeze them. And the same goes for the rice. I frequently freeze my rice and just pop it in the microwave for 2 minutes. Many of my regular viewers have started purchasing tofu, not because they're vegetarians, but because it is a low-cost protein source. I have had some requests to show you how to process tofu, so that's what I'm doing here in this segment. just want to cook the tofu to the desired consistency that you like. This is pretty much how I like it, so it's a little bit moist on the inside but still a little bit chewy. If I'm adding the tofu to a soup, I'm definitely going to make it a little bit chewier, so I'm going to leave it in the oven longer. For my viewers with dysphagia, I would go ahead and skip this step and just use it as is. Depending on your condition, you might even need to use the silken tofu, which is much softer. After your tofu is done, you just add it to your recipe like you would if you were using chicken. I always make sure that I'm using a sauce that I absolutely love, usually something spicy, but you can also just put bottled barbecue sauce on it afterwards, and it's good like that. But like I said, I really enjoy having it in my stir fries, and it's just open to however you want to use it. For dinner the first night, I grilled some tofu on my George Foreman just to get some grill marks in there, and then I had the rice and beans, and I served it alongside just a small amount of soy sauce. Normally when I'm making a bowl, I've got some kind of sauce on my tofu, but tonight I just decided that I would go ahead and make it like this. It was really delicious with the raw carrots like that because it added a little bit of crunch to it. This would have also been great with a little bit of sriracha or hot sauce. I've made this dish on my channel before, but I haven't made it with the tomatillo sauce. And normally I'll eat this with a slice of avocado, maybe some cilantro and tomatoes. And this is why I wanted the black beans. I thought that looked beautiful on the plate, but this ended up being so delicious. And I think that when you're just trying to make those dollars stretch, you really need to have recipes like this that really taste good and they look appetizing. The tomatillo sauce added just the right amount of acidity to the dish, because I find that eggs can be, I don't know, they just need that little something to go with them. And also I felt like the raw jalapenos, they weren't hot, but they added just the right amount of crunch and flavor to the dish. So I really love this, and I love that we were able to incorporate the tomatillos that were on sale. I made this to take for my lunch to the office the next day, and I have to say I was shocked at how delicious it was. I just had a little bit of the chili garlic sauce that I always have, and I just kind of flash fried my zucchini in the George Foreman, and it was a little bit crisp still on the inside. I'm not sure why I don't eat zucchini like this more often. It is really good, and this was one of my favorite lunches. I'm definitely going to be making this again. These were a little bit hard to keep together in the pan, but with a little bit of practice, I'm sure that it wouldn't be as difficult next time. They were really good. The green onions flavored them quite a bit, and then also having the hot sauce to dip them in just was a really nice combination with the egg. So this recipe is my take on a tortilla soup, but I'm making it with tofu. So one of the things I like about recipes like this or soups like this is quite a few different viewers can use this. You can use a gluten-free broth or a seasoning mix. Obviously, if you need to eat gluten-free, you probably already have that in your pantry. This broth that I'm using isn't gluten-free, so I'm using a chicken broth. But if you're a vegetarian, you can use the vegetarian, or I think they have one that's called Like Chicken. I haven't actually tried that yet, but it is vegetarian and there's no chicken in it, but I guess it tastes like chicken. This soup was so good. Oh my gosh, we loved it so much. I let my son try it and we sat there and we were both eating it. It was so tasty, so flavorful, and adding the macaroni product added a little bit of crunch to it and a little bit more substance to the dish, a little bit more calories. So I really enjoyed that, and I'll definitely be making that again. Then I made some bean taquitos. I just put the beans in the corn tortillas, rolled them up, fried them just like I did the egg taquitos, and served them with some hot sauce, and they were delicious. I had prepared this meal the night before, and honestly, I didn't think it would be that great. I took it to work, and I ended up microwaving the rice and tofu and green onion mixture, and I had to heat my shells in the toaster oven, so they got a little bit crispy on the outside, but I liked it so much, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be making this again to take in my lunch, but I do think it needs to have a vegetable with it, obviously, like maybe some broccoli, and then it would be a balanced meal. Next up, I'm making bean enchiladas. I have made cheese enchiladas on my channel before, so I won't show the entire process. If you'd like the recipe, watch my other video and I'll link that in the description. But basically we're just using our rice, beans, tortillas, and we'll be using the chicken bouillon in order to make the sauce for the enchiladas. I'm going to be making one for my dinner and one to take for lunch tomorrow at work. Trader Joe's sells these delicious little apple cinnamon oatmeal bites. I thought it would be fun to try to recreate them with the ingredients that we have. I actually made these the night before and it was great because I just popped them in the toaster oven to heat them up. These were delicious. I really love them. Next time I'm going to add butter and I'm going to pulsate the oatmeal, half of the oatmeal, and kind of work on this recipe, but they were really good. Okay, these are all of the ingredients that we have left for dinner. So I think I'll go ahead and make a bowl with these. I mixed a small amount of soy sauce with a little brown sugar. If you don't have brown sugar, regular sugar is fine. I'm just going to use this to flash fry real quick and coat the tofu so that it has a nice sweet, salty flavor. And then I'm going to use that in my bowl. If you've never grilled green onions before, I definitely recommend trying it, especially the white part. They end up making your whole kitchen smell delicious and they have a nice sweet caramelized flavor, unlike the other ends, you know, that you use when they're fresh. So I ended up using a mixture of the fresh and the cooked onions in this dish, and I also decided to garnish my eggs with paprika this time instead of the sesame seeds. And normally I would use the chili garlic sauce because that's my favorite, but I decided this time, since I know a lot of people use sriracha, that I'm going to go ahead and give it a try this time and see how I like it. This meal was delicious. However, I'm still not a huge sriracha fan. I think it would have been better with the chili garlic. I thought I also could have made individual bean nachos with the little slices of jalapeno on each tortilla chip, and that would have been really cute and delicious as well. But in the end, everything was really tasty, and I would eat that meal any night of the week. So for the last meal of the video, I'm making oatmeal, and I had a little bit of apple left over, but I'm just doing a basic oatmeal with a little bit of sugar on top. And after I was finished with this oatmeal, I still had one serving of oatmeal left over, and then all of the food was basically gone. My favorite meal this week were by far the bean enchiladas. It was filling, and best of all, I was able to put one in the fridge for lunch the next day, and it was just so easy to just pull out and pop in the toaster oven. Next up, I absolutely love the tortilla soup. We got a lot of mileage out of the green onions as well as the jalapenos, and I'll definitely be using tomatillos a lot more often. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed my video, and if you haven't subscribed already, I hope you'll consider doing so. If you thought this was helpful, please do share my video, and it will help my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.